Hi, quick video, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. If you don't like teardown spoilers, click off now. But if you want to stick around for a minute and try and help me with an issue here where, yes, I've come-a-gutsa, in a recent teardown. So I'm just, looking for some feedback and opinions on this, how best to go about fixing a goof that I've obviously made. This is the Harogic PXN90 spectrum analyzer. Very cool bit of kit. Have not used it yet because I literally did the teardown first. And I've ruined it. So yeah, oopsie. So let me show you what's going on here, right? So this is the direct front end here. There's more to it. It's a really cool. There's like multiple boards sandwiched top and bottom here. It's a really cool bit of kit. It's going to make for an interesting teardown. But here's the front end here, and can you spot the problem? Spot the problem. Can you see it yet? Can you see it yet? This is obviously the direct front end, and here's the input B and C. This literally goes through some rigid coax to the main end connector on the front panel. Yeah, I literally tore off the track on this what looks like a Teflon board or something. It's not your regular not your regular fiberglass. Look at that, and it's still attached over there, unfortunately. So I've ripped that off. They warned me about a possible issue. They said leave these bottom screws in here, and I did that. I followed their instructions. I left these otherwise you might cause some damage. They didn't say exactly what, but I thought, oh, okay, I'll leave the bottom screws in. I left the bottom screws in, and this board almost came out on its own, so I just gave it an extra little bit of help, and yeah, it's peeled off that trace there. So Harogic got straight back to me. They were fantastic about it, and they said, look, no problem, shit happens, and yeah, send it back to us and we'll have to repair and recalibrate it. So I'm not too concerned about the calibration. I'd just like to get it back and working after I reassemble it so that I can actually use it and do like a review video, because it doesn't have to be like, absolutely properly calibrated for me to do a review video on it. So yeah, I'm just wondering what's the best way, given that this goes face down, by the way, right? So obviously what they've done, I think, is they've got this connector and they've soldered it onto the board like that, onto that thin trace there. They've soldered it on and then carefully flipped it over, right, and put it in there like that. Carefully flipped it over, put it in, and then screwed it in place, right? So when I actually first took it apart, I thought that I didn't actually see it, and I thought, oh cool, it's just making contact. It's just, has a pad on the board, and when you sandwich it together, if you engineer the dimensions right, you can get a nice force on the pin. And I thought, hey, that's cool. That's a cool way to do it, right? But no, they've obviously soldered that on, and then it's only when I look closer that yeah, it's obviously tore the pad from the substrate there. Which is not hard because there's not much glue holding that down. So I'm just trying to figure out the best way. I mean, I could take it out and I could potentially glue it back in place. Should I do like, I don't know, better than super glue maybe, like epoxy it back in place perhaps? I can get I've got Gorilla Glue or something, which might work really well, but I don't know, this is like a Teflon board, so I'm not sure how it's going to thing. And it looks like those two little dots, have they somehow like, I don't know, not welded it, but like have they done something there to keep that on? Or are those vias? Oh, are they vias dropping down? Unfortunately, I can't see the bottom of the board. They could be vias. I don't know, but no, they don't look like, oh yeah, they could be, right? That's the maximum zoom I got. They could very well be. So that could be a problem as well. So, yeah. If it was just this, then yeah, no worries. You know, I can probably put some epoxy on that, right? And although I don't know what that would go down to. What would that go down to? Maybe I can ask them before I do it, but I suspect it's, well, I did send them an email saying, hey, you know, is there some way to repair it? They just said, send it back and we'll repair it and recalibrate it for you. So, yeah. If I can just, if that's genuinely not going anywhere, but then why is it there? Then I can potentially epoxy it back and then put a little dab of solder on there and then very delicately do what they do and just, yeah, gently put the board back and then gently screw in the screws on the connector and, you know, hope it holds. So anyway, yeah, thoughts and comments down below. I feel terrible, like I haven't even used the damn thing yet. Well, I powered it on and I was trying to get the SDR working on it, and we had a few issues getting SDR++ working, but it supports that apparently. But yeah, I have not used it in anger at all, and oops, decided to do the teardown video first. Yeah, so anyway, if I can make contact back in there, no worries. But I haven't even looked at what that chip is, by the way. And by the way, they do actually have an interesting, they haven't done it on the main board over here. They've actually done it on a separate board. Not sure what the deal is there. Check out those filters for the different frequencies. Isn't that cool? So, yeah, they decided to do that on a separate Teflon or ceramic daughter board there. That's interesting. I thought you would have just we just kept it on the main PCB substrate. That's what you usually do. But this is a 9 gig bandwidth jobby, by the way. It's available up to 40, I think. It's available up to 40 gig, but mine's only the 9 gig model. It's also available in a 4.5 gig cheap version as well. So, yeah. Anyway, thoughts and comments down below. How best to repair that? Just thought I'd put it out there. Get some feedback and, you know, maybe I'll go with the most popular opinion. Or if they say, no, you know, there's a specific thing, then, you know, we'll go with that. But, yeah, I would like to get it back working. So I don't have to send, I might ultimately send it back to get it recaled or whatever and repaired. But, yeah, like, that's a real bummer. So there you go. A delicate manufacturing process has led to a Come-a-Gutsa when you do a teardown and or repair on this thing. So, yeah, oopsie. Anyway, let me know down below. Catch you next time.